to the agenda, please feel free to go ahead and post them into the chat. I'm just trying to wait for the YouTube to come up. Hopefully it will behave, and then we'll go from there. So I've got a couple of new faces. Why don't we start with you, Helen? How are you doing? And is there anything that you'd like to get onto the agenda for today?
Let me think about it for just a minute.
No problem at all.
And I probably would get more inspiration, perhaps more questions, when someone else inspires me from the questions that they are going to present.
Perfectly fine, no problem at all. All right. So why don't I ask you, Helen, since you're new to the group here, just to maybe introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your book, and it helps everybody else to kind of get a sense of who you are and what kind of work that you're doing.
Okay, well, I'm from Eastern North Carolina, and I'm sort of I was a freelance writer for 19 years and wrote a column, a safety column for boating magazines. That was my niche. So for the most part, I have been, a nonfiction writer. And as such, I would say over the past 25 years or so, I've been writing humor. So I just published a humor book. It's Southern humor based on like a blog that I had, and collected stories for many, many years. And so I went ahead and self-published it in August, made a lot of mistakes. One, I will never format books again. I will hire someone to do that because that's not my forte. I mean, I was trained as a scientist, so I'm a biologist by nature, and I handle, tasks. I'm very task oriented. So when I want to find something else, I do a deep dive. And then, I feel like I'm capable of doing it, but I hated every minute of that formatting. I learned about it. I appreciate anyone who will take the time to do it. Yeah. And so the mistakes I made, I would love to pass that information on to somebody else, saying, let me recommend to you what not to do.
That's a good idea.
But other than that, the humor book, that was the first in a series of 3. So I'm thinking the next one will come out in April, and then the following will come out maybe in August. But I've also written 5 novels, 4 romantic comedies, and the 5th one is a heist mystery with supernatural elements. And I have 3 more that are waiting to be finished. So the idea of self-publishing, now that I've gotten my feet wet, is very appealing to me. Good. And the idea of having someone else along for the journey, where I could, pick their brain, who do you use for your book cover, who is your good formatter, that kind of stuff. I'm always listening, and I've always felt that I would love to pay it forward.
Nice.
So I bring authors into my area. I am on the board of our Friends of the Library. And so I bring in authors, and I let them speak. I usually do the moderating, and I do their publicity because I'm really good at that. And I help them along. I give them suggestions and stuff for how to do that. So I feel like, if somebody wanted to contact me, I would help them do whatever they needed to. And in turn, maybe they would help me. So
I love that. And I love authors helping authors. And if you want to drop your contact information into the chat, I'm sure that there are others that would be happy to chat with you. I'm going to also put my contact information here so that if you are interested, I would love to chat with you just to kind of get a better sense of what you're doing and how maybe I could utilize some of what you're doing in my for my authors as well. And so if you want to set up a consult there, I am happy to post that. I'll also post it on here on YouTube as well. Hi,
Okay.
Mike. Welcome. We got a couple people joining us from YouTube as well. Thank you for sharing. You've got I think you've got a lot of great things going on. And as we move forward, if anybody has any questions for Helen, you can feel free to also shout out to Helen and ask any questions that you have. All right. Who else has an agenda item you'd like to get on the list here to chat about today? I see Mrs. A is new to the group. Would you like to chat a little bit and tell us about yourself and your book? Okay. Anyone got any questions or anything new that you'd like to ask or share? Mike says that, so Mike on YouTube says he is in the 11th grade. That's fantastic. So Mike, are you publishing a book? Tell us a little bit about your story. So Mrs. A says, I wrote A Hiding Place Fit for a King, a new book. Wonderful. Any questions, anything I can help you with? This is my open Q&A. I probably should introduce myself. This is April Cox. I am the creator of Self-Publishing Made Simple. The YouTube channel that I'm streaming to right now is Self-Publishing Made Simple with April Cox. And I share my talents and skills on self-publishing and as becoming a part of the authorpreneur community. And I do this through these free open sessions, as well as through my mastermind and coaching, as well as courses and work groups that I run as well. So I'm happy to answer questions about any of those topics. All right. Let's see. I thought I just saw a question here. Oh, okay. So currently looking to get reviews. So this has been something that I was going to talk about. And since Victoria, that you are here with us today, would you mind sharing your experience with the new review site that you've been working with?
Yes. Let's see. It's called, what is it called? You caught me off guard here. You looked it up the other day. Oh goodness. What is it called? It's called, I'm just at a loss right now.
So I remember you sharing it with me.
Yes, yes,
Good
yes,
night,
yes.
Good Night Reads.
Thank you. That's it. Good night. Yes. Good night reads dot co.
I've had a few authors that have talked about Goodnight Reads as a really great way of getting reviews. And you and I had this conversation recently about the success you've had with them. So tell us more about how you found them and what you've been doing there and how that's resulted in some increased reviews for you.
So far it's very legit. The guy who runs it is wonderful. And I think I asked him a while back if he would, if you could have him like for one of your interviews, like a Marketing Monday. And at the time he said yes, definitely. But then he kind of changed he did change, it was new, so he changed the format of everything, which I like so much better. So what happens is that you download your book or books, and then it goes into the library. So someone then has the opportunity to read your book and leave a review. That's the whole idea. That's the whole purpose. And it's all legit. And then in turn, when I read a book, someone's book, then I review it on Amazon after I've read it. And then Amazon comes back to me, generally within the day or the next day, lately for me. And then they get it that it's been reviewed. And then they tell me I have a credit. What a credit means for my end is that now someone will read one of my books. And basically, that's all it does. So when I have like 0 in the queue, I'll look to see I have 4 books. It says 0, then I know I need to read 4 more, review 4 more books. And they're all children's books. Because it's strictly for children's authors. And I select what I want to read. And then again, the same thing goes over. And then in turn, I guess the other person is doing that, but they don't know it's, in other words, let's just say I get a review that maybe is a 2 or a 3 or whatever. I don't have access to them. So you can't just go and then say, well, let me find their book. And then you can't do any of that stuff. It's really laid out very well, the way he's done this program. It is $10 a month, but I just constantly I'm getting reviews. And it's good to have those 3 reviews too, because you don't want to just have 555 or 444. It's nice because people need to see that these are real and real people are
Encouraging honest reviews.
Right,
The
exactly.
more books you review, the more opportunities your books get to be reviewed.
Right. And so I think since I've started, it said that I had 29 reviews total and 17. They do a bonus. I don't know how they do the bonus, but I have an additional 17 that I've done through the course of maybe about a year now that I've been on it. And I like it. It's a very good program, and Amazon accepts it. And anyway, so I'm very happy with that program.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
Would you be interested in having him on a
I would love to.
Monday?
Yeah, I'd love to have him come and talk a little bit about his program. If you have the ability to maybe send an email
I will.
interesting, I think that would be a great opportunity.
I will. Okay. Can
Awesome.
do.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, you're welcome.
Anyone else have something to share, announcement to make, a book that's launching, a question for me? While I'm waiting for that, I did want to just let you know that I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks. So normally I'm here every Wednesday, but I'm taking 2 weeks off. And I recommend, if you are an author that has been going crazy speeds all year long, take a breather, take a break, and give yourself some downtime. So I am doing that next week and the week after. So we're going to have a 2-week break here from open Q&A, unless I can get one of my team members who wants to cover during that period. So more information to come. Very likely won't be doing my open Q&A for the next couple of weeks. So this will be our last time together until January 8th, I believe it is. I'll be back for the Wednesday open Q&A. All right. Couple of other just housekeeping things that I have going on, if we don't have any questions coming through, is I do have a couple of things starting in the new year to announce. One of them is my 12-week author work group. It hasn't run in probably 6 months or so. So it's a little overdue, actually. We're going to start on January 28th. And it goes out for 12 weeks, and we are walking through every part of the publishing process. From you have to come in with a manuscript. It doesn't have to be perfect or edited at that point, but you come in with a manuscript, and we go through for a 12-week period. We start with editing, we do illustrations, design, formatting, publishing, and every single week you're learning something about marketing. So we have lots of just great participation. I think so far this group has a couple of groups at this point. We have enough for a couple of different cohorts. One is going to meet in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern, and another one at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing Tuesdays and Thursday sessions. So those are, I'm happy to answer any questions about the author work group, and we can if you have any questions about that. But if you are somebody who feels lonely a little confused about self-publishing, have no idea where to begin, and you really need some hand-holding, and you also could use and appreciate a community of people to do it with, these small work groups are really, really helpful. So the goal is to get you through the whole process in 12 weeks. Some people do it faster, some people take a little longer, but we do meet twice a week live, and you also get some offline things, courseware, videos, and activities and homework that you'll do outside of that 12-week period as well. Right.
April, I took your class at the beginning of the year. I was totally lost, had no idea what I was doing. And your guidance and patience with everybody that was in the class, there was people that didn't know what a keyboard was. And you walked everybody through everything. And I would have been totally lost without it. And you guided me in the right direction. So I wasn't taken advantage of by all of these predators out there that are looking to publish our books and help us do this. And it just doesn't work, right? So your list of people that you have, and I can't say enough about the program. It was very beneficial.
I really appreciate that. And that's why I do it, because I don't want people to be taken advantage of. And I also really enjoy making an impact and being a part of making dreams come true. And I'm seeing, your beautiful book. I'm just going to pull it up here. I'm going to highlight your book because this was a result of the last work group that we went through. And so here is The Legend of Bigfoot, a humorous chapter book. Experience fun and adventure with a group of animal friends while learning kindness and teamwork. So it's a beautiful book. We already got 9 reviews here. She's launched it to a bestseller status and is continuing to see things grow. We're getting you involved also with, running some Amazon ads and doing some things along those lines. So I just love the book, and I highly recommend, if you have a child in this age group, then absolutely grab it. It's a great adventure. It's hilarious, funny, and will definitely have your kids giggling. Especially, it's a great book to take your read for yourself and buy one for your kids, and then kind of compare notes or read it together, because it's a great opportunity for bonding and reading. I love the little, Bigfoot peeking out from behind the trees, and you've got the characters are just gorgeous. It looks like they should make a movie out of it. I'm just going to throw that out into the universe for you. It needs to have a movie. All right. So I will thank you for that. I appreciate your comments. I see, Pat, you've got your hand raised. Go ahead and chat as well.
I have both a comment and a question. It's to kind of piggyback on what Debbie had to say. I too have been through the course, and I think what's good about April's course is she has vetted graphic designers, illustrators, and editors, which are very essential to publishing a book that could stand right next to a traditionally published book. And that was the good thing about a course, not just that I got books published, but I could trust the people to do these things like editing, illustrating, and designing. So that's much appreciated. For those who are thinking of taking a course on self-publishing, especially for children's books, this is a good one to take. My question is, other than Kickstarter to help fund books, there was some talk of another program whereby even if you didn't reach your goal, you could keep the money. And it wasn't the GoFundMe, it was something else. And I wonder if you have heard of it. It was mentioned one time on a call, but I can't remember.
I do know the one you mean. Let me see if I can put it, let's see, crowdfunding.
Which is a good way for people to help finance getting a book published.
Right, and this other one that you're talking about, I believe that they do not require you to meet, if you miss your goal, you still are able to keep the money. And I'm trying to remember, my goodness, I will think of it, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you.
It's similar to Kickstarter. It
Mhm.
just, Kickstarter is one of those where if you don't meet your goal, you lose the funds and if it's not funded. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what the other one.
And I thought that it was mentioned on one of your.
Oh, it is. It definitely has been.
Was.
Just trying to
Mhm.
remember the name of it. I will think of it.
I can't either. I
Yeah.
can't either. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my AI to help me remember here. Indiegogo. There we go. Yeah, so Indiegogo. So here, when I just opened up my AI here and said and asked about crowdfunding. So in the course, I go over Kickstarter and Indiegogo. They also said GoFundMe is another way of raising money as well. Patreon, if you want people to provide you with, if you have a Patreon account, like you're an artist or an author, and you want to create something like that, there are people that have used that. There's also Unbound, which is a crowdfunding platform specifically for books, where readers pledge support on those that they want to see published. I don't think it's as popular as the first two, Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So those are the two that are at the top. I think that Kickstarter is a really good platform, and I don't think you need to worry too much about not hitting your goal, as long as you set your goal up in a reasonably low. So if you're trying to hit $20,000, then that might be a little bit more difficult. But if you set it up so that you have multiple tiers, for example, you have a $5,000 goal for specific activities that you need to do. And then if you reach that, it unlocks additional stretch goals that can still get you up to that $20,000, but doing it in bumps. And that will help you make sure that you don't end up losing the funding for not hitting your goal. And then you also are able to continue to keep engaging with your people and continuing to hit those additional stretch goals as well. So that's a good way to go about it. Are you considering that for yourself, for your new books, Pat?
No, I don't think so. But it just dawned on me that there was another one, and it's some food for thought. But
Yeah.
no, not this time.
It's been a while since we ran a Kickstarter group. We've done that a few times, myself and one of my team members, Sarah Catherine Frey. And if we've got enough people interested, we might do a live, a small work group where people just work together to get their things all set up, and they get the support and handholding they need to get their crowdfunding campaign put out there. So that's something to consider. If there are enough people that are interested in that, it's something we could resurrect as well.
Thank you.
All right. So, any other questions? Everybody's in holiday mode, I think. Go ahead, Debbie.
I did receive my 5-star review with the little plaque thing that goes on my book.
Okay.
So, and you told me that I should take the review and go to Amazon to the author page and then input that there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So what you'll have to do is go to Author Central. It's a little kludgy how to get it there. You'd think that you'd be able to go to your listing page and just find it that way, but unfortunately, you actually need to go to your Author Central. So if you're in ADP, go to the marketing tab and then go to your author page and then find the particular book that you want to add the review to. And then you'll have access to edit the book and add editorial reviews. So you have to do that for each of the platforms of that book too. So if you want to put it on both the ebook and the paperback, you'll have to go through that as well.
Okay, and then do I have to do the same thing at, God, it just left my mind. The hard book.
Oh, yeah. So Ingram Spark, you're
Ingram.
able to just edit your listing there and add the reviews right to your Ingram listing.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, if you're trying to work it out and you get stuck, just raise your hand and come back and I'll help guide you through it. So who's got some good things going on for the holidays? I just got a new box of books from Jenabeth at Jostens. So I think I'm going to be taking my new books. This is the Little Labradoodle Christmas. I'll be taking these over to my family and friends. Also have a couple of gentlemen who volunteer their time to read as Santa. And so I'm going to be donating some books because they do volunteer work in the local shelters. So I'm going to donate some books to them too, so that when they're reading to kids, that they also have the ability to donate or give some books to those that are in need. That's going to be a really heartwarming thing. I'm hoping that I can attend some of those readings with him. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity as well for me to just give back a little bit this holiday season. Okay. So one other thing I wanted to share about, since we don't have a lot of questions, is that I'm actually going to be starting to do a small group session with parents or adults who want to work with kid authors. And if you are someone who has a child or grandchild that you're working with, that you are, looking to take their experience with writing, or, whether it's storytelling or illustration, if you want to help get that book published. And that's what we did, my granddaughter and I did for this last book, Little Labradoodle Christmas. So a number of people said that they would love to know how to do that with the kids. And so I'm thinking about actually hosting some events focused for the adults and the child. Probably do a volunteer group where I'm volunteering my time to help them to move the storytelling forward. So that is something that's going to be coming up in the new year. And I also have a Facebook group that I'll share where, let's see, I think it's kid authors. I'll try to share it here, but look up the actual I'll find the group name and share that. I'm also going to be helping. So for those child and parent authors that are getting together to work on publishing a new book. And even if there are teachers that are interested in getting their classroom involved, I'm also going to be opening up this year for the first time ever to publish other people's books. So as my Little Labradoodle publishing company is growing, I also would like to add a couple more titles to my Little Labradoodle series. So I'm opening up kind of a contest for those kid authors to be able to take and come up with some ideas on things that the Little Labradoodle series can do, where we can go next. And so we'll have a little story contest, and I'm thinking at least one, but maybe and more probably two books from a parent and child combination. And the winners will be published, and I will walk through as publishing their books in the Little Labradoodle series. And then probably more towards the second half of the year, I'll be opening up to accept submissions and things like that with my own publishing company for other authors. So that is something on the roadmap. It is something that you'll hear more about as we're moving through 2025. Some of the areas I had hesitated to add myself into the mix because, you know, when I think about hybrid publishers and all of that stuff, I just don't want to be thrown in the midst of a category that feels very predatory to me. So I am going to be doing it, but doing it as a traditional publisher on a very small scale at first to see where things go. But more to come. You'll hear more about it in the coming year. Probably not until after Q1, but more, you know, I think it will be a great way of growing my brand, Little Labradoodle Publishing, and extending it to more writers than just myself and my grandkids doing what we do best. But I would love to just take some of these beautiful stories and traditionally publish through my company. So more to come. Hope, you know, wish me luck there. But yeah, we've got some great writers out there, and I can't wait to extend and really expand the Little Labradoodle brand. So any questions or comments on that? Got me revealing all my New Year secrets. All right. Well, we are, it looks like since we don't really have a lot of questions today, we'll close it early. Let me give one more take. I'll just take one more quick look on YouTube just to see if there's anything else here. If you have not, oh, Kevin says, sounds great. Thank you, Kevin. If anyone has any final questions before I log off for the day and for the holiday, actually, feel free to go ahead and post it on YouTube or post it here. Take yourself off mute if you're here with me live, and then we'll move forward. And maybe we'll break a little early today if we don't have a lot of questions. All right. Helen's asking, where am I located? I am in just outside of Providence, Rhode Island, in a town called Pawtucket. So Pawtucket, the Little Labradoodle lady, is in Pawtucket, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. But it's right outside of Providence. Perfect.
That's nice. We have in North Carolina, we have a lot of children's book festivals. That's why I was curious.
Oh, okay.
And we also have a lot of festivals where authors of all genres get together, you know, during certain times of the year in Eastern North Carolina and Central North Carolina. And so I was just curious because I am with a critique group of SCBWI.
Okay.
Ladies, because I have finished 2 children's books that I'd love to get published.
Nice.
And so we're all from North Carolina. So we always tell each other where the next little event's going to be so that everybody can, you know, get there and try and help each other sell books.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And Helen, if you'd like to put together a little meeting of that subgroup, let me know. I'd be happy to host and get your group together for Q&A around your critique group.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love to do that.
Yeah, happy to do that. I have a number of authors in that area, and yeah, happy to accommodate. Or you can always share this open Q&A link. Again, obviously it's not going to be for the next couple of weeks, but I do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Just please do know I appreciate you very much. There is, for those of you that are new or just seeing this for the first time, take a look at my Self-Publishing Made Simple YouTube channel. I also do have a Facebook group for those that want to learn how to self-publish. And those are some free things that I offer the author community as my gift to help further the cause of people learning how to self-publish and not being taken advantage of. So that's something that you can absolutely take advantage of. And you also can visit me at selfpubmadesimple.com, and that is where I have all of the information about my mastermind, my coaching sessions, and author groups similar to the ones that I've talked about. So I'm going to go and put that here in the chat. Selfpubmadesimple.com. Happy to chat more. And I do offer free consults if you think that you're looking for something that maybe needs more custom, or you have some questions about whether or not our company could be a good fit for you, then feel free to schedule a consult with me, and I'm happy to chat with you after the holidays. So I'll be seeing you all